Oh, yes. Very, very, very much do by Brothos.
Yeah, they're really good.
Clocked it in a night.
Oh, damn.
I literally sat there and went, oh yeah, I'll try a couple of bits. Didn't stop. And I ran out of game before I got bored.
Well, it's early summer.
Uh-huh.
June. Which means that the weather is frigging miserable.
Is it clammy and miserable?
It's humid and muggy.
Ah.
People moan their way through these muggy, uncomfortable, sweaty days.
In their leather.
In their leather and rubber, yes. Going home to wash what little sweat water they have off. To de-grime and then sit through the chilly, smog-ridden nights. The sun barely reaches the streets. On those rare occasions when it does, the nobility and the well-to-do throng the parks, while the children of the poor estates and the rookeries can simply wish that they had such luxuries as toys, or something to laugh about. But happiness is an expense only met by the rich. One of whom has, in recent days, sent for Needle and the Damage.
Alright.
A Lord Archibald Kennington requires your services on a matter of the utmost discretion. Negotiable rewards, guaranteed to be satisfactory, reads the neatly handwritten note that you find waiting on your mat as you return home after a wine-sodden night of debauchery. The woman on your, no doubt some well-to-do fellow's wife. But that is no concern to you, as you're fast asleep, strolling through the streets on your return home. Her plaintive moans that you should return to her boudoir unheard. But they stretch just far enough into the night to cause a little bit of a raucous laughter, as her name is soon whispered amongst your other conquests.
Yes. Sully yourself, bitch. What?
The Damages Knight is one of his usual manner. Exquisite agony from his many aches and pains.
Fist fighter 2?
A fist fight or two.
Go on, what the dickhead's doing, pubs? He's the biggest fucker here. Oh, you know what? 5'6". Bet I can take that 7 there, fuck it down.
All you were trying to do was gin away some of the horrendous back pain from your spasming arm, and someone had to go and upset you.
And I thought to myself, through the haze,
If
I can't get over my pain, I'm going to flick some on him as well.
Maybe in a kinder day you'd have let him, but you've been drinking, and it's not that easy. Especially not when his missus said, and I bet he looks real ugly without that mask on as well. I've heard what they say.
Oh, you picked on Sloth. Sloth got to fuck you up.
So your weeks spent in wine, women and violence are interrupted by the missive from the Kennington estate, which is yours to answer if you wish, or not.
What do I know of this Lord Kennington?
The Kennington family own several of the shipyards of London. They deal with the manufacture of ocean-going vessels. They have a shipyard high up the Thames. They manufacture boats, send them out from Newcastle and from London itself. Southward from London they send out naval vessels to be outfitted as dreadnoughts and such like from their Newcastle shipyards, and from smaller holdings in Manchester they manufacture trade barges for the canalways and vessels for attempts at fishing expeditions into the North Sea. Every year some brave soul decides to put together a fishing expedition because there must be something alive in the sea. They're rarely heard from again. When they are, it's wild-eyed tales of mermaids and horrendous creatures, which you just put down to the madness that the wastelands can have even at the water. But still, the Kennington family's purses have grown rich in building boats, whether it be for excursions, defence, or for trade.
I'm picturing the canal barges as being even more heavily armoured than the dreadnoughts.
I think you might like floating submarines on the surface.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
With lots and lots of guns attached.
Yeah. One of the least favoured of the penal legionnaires' duties is canal watch, because they'll either trudge alongside the canals or sit atop coal barges and such like.
Yeah, you don't want that.
It rarely ends well, but there's money to be made. They have neither means nor name of import, so they're just meat for the grinder. Just as you two could have been if you weren't so particularly skilled.
Yeah. We're under no illusion. We still are.
So, having decided that you will take up the offer, I presume, from your tone anyway.
Not encouraged to that. He said discreet. Wandering up to his house whistling.
Very good. We'll go around the back. There's a quiet entrance.
Okay. As you're halfway up the yard road, it's a manor house inside London City itself. It has a small garden by normal means, which means it's massive to you guys.
Right.
A few statues of flamingos and fancier birds.
What? What are they?
A small fountain spitting water from a cherub. You notice the cherub and a couple of the baby-faced gargoyles arrayed around the place all have exquisite sculpture, but also identical faces which look realistic enough to have been modelled from life. But there's something you can't put your teeth on it, but it's not quite right. Just something unsettling. Halfway up the drive, you were met by a severe-looking tall man, very rangy. Aside from the black gas mask, he's dressed in the unmistakable uniform of a butler. He gives a very short, very derisive bow, as only someone who's as self-important as a butler can give. The gentleman Lord Kennington sent for, I presume?
Indeed.
Yeah, very good. Come with me. Sergeant Harbottle is already here. I am Crichton, his lordship's butler. Pins on his heel. The guy's got a sense of humour. Things like that pop up throughout. Leads you up to the house. The house itself is 3 stories. It's packed, along with its gardens, in between a slightly larger manor house, allegedly belonging to the son of a duke. You can hear the off-kilter sounds of some manner of festivity. And a large workhouse, separated from that by a small canal. The workhouse belongs to the Kennington family as a charitable estate. The actual family, the family house proper, is situated further out from the city, in more pleasant surroundings. This is where they receive business meetings and such like. However, as Crichton leads you into the house, well, into a small vestibule where you are free to strip your street garb, clean your boots, wipe off any residue upon any clothes you wish to maintain. The leather cloak and insignia bearing rubberized garb of an officer of the Death Watch are already hanging there, as well as a pair of bolt-action rifles neatly placed in the umbrella stand.
So take it, if I've got any weapons, I need to leave them there as well. I'm not here a while.
Do you have a bigger rack?
I shall have one of the girls attend to them.
Thank you.
As he whistles, a moment later a young girl comes. Just stays in the shadow as she pushes forth a large cart.
Drop in your duffel bag. That's literally carries everything I have.
See to it that the gentleman's weapons are not touched, my dear.
Go on.
Oh.
Flamethrower.
She looks that way.
Hang my pistol and my sword on the rack, because they'll fit.
Okay.
Bit more gentle.
With your eyes more accustomed to the darkness, you can see that this girl's attempts to stay hidden do not avail herself of you.
Yeah.
She's dressed as a simple scullery maid, but I've noticed the fact that she still wears her gas mask indoors.
Okay, I'm still wearing mine as well.
Okay.
I am ugly.
Yeah, you are.
I've learned in the past that, I can kind of sully the deal.
Okay.
Because, you've got these 2 people. One looks like he's falling apart and can't live up to it.
Yeah. Crichton removes his, revealing himself to be the stern-faced, hawk-nosed, grey-haired butler you already heard. This way, gentlemen.
Lumber, man kind of style.
Leads you to a kitchen where a couple of gas-masked maids are preparing some manner of repast, placing small teapot and what appears to be scones of some sort on a tray, like a lady's dinner or something.
A little bit inside my mask. Fucking skull.
Up a short flight of stairs, along a hallway arrayed with a book bookshelf, several landscape paintings, and some velvet hangings, all of which just tickle your taste buds the wrong way. In through a large door.
Is there any running theme?
Maybe a perception check. Which would be a wit roll. To see if you can pick up, because the details are subtle.
My eyepiece picking anything up?
No, not as yet. This is just a general ambient mist.
18.
The landscape painting of the Thames River in healthier times, painted in the late 1800s before the plague, depicts a couple of barges, a small pleasure boat, some couples eating on... You've seen the first painting of couples eating and partying there. But not a single woman in the painting has eyes painted. But it's not a missing detail. They're quite purposefully not there. A small cherub statue which you pass, sat atop a little pedestal with velvet hangings alongside it, has tiny cogs carved under its jawbone. Not movable in any way, it is a solid statue, but it has these cogs carved into it. As Crichton opens the door to a study, the woodwork of the door has etched into it, very finely detailed. You take note of like curling leaves and trees and like some kind of forest scene, but your sharp eyes pick out the leering visage of sharp-toothed predators between the boughs of the trees. Gentlemen, his lordship will be with you shortly.
Thank you.
Avail yourselves if you wish, pointing to an opened-up globe containing several liquor bottles and a small plate of sandwiches, which a fairly broad-shouldered fellow is already munching away at. He closes the door behind you. Guy munching on the sandwiches, fairly heavy set. Big square chin with a massive butt. He's got massive butt chin. Looks up, gives you both a nod. Wearing clean-cut uniform in deep greens, and he has that kind of bearing of a military man about him. You've seen the type before. Definitely not an officer. Definitely one of the men.
Works for all of it. Works for all of it.
Yeah. He looks up, just takes his.
Was that the sergeant strapped on his arm?
Yeah, it is.
Sergeant?
Bottle.
Needle.
How do you? The damage. How do you?
Shake hand. One hand's bigger than the other.
Yeah, his hand disappears. He's got a good shake on him.
We requested, same as us.
I think we'll leave his lordship to discuss business.
Fair enough. Don't mean to be impertinent.
No offence intended, fellas. Just, I'm here on orders. Looks around at a large painting of London by night, in which there are things crawling over the dome of St Paul's Cathedral. Or a bookshelf in which the titles.
That's getting my heckles up. I'm not liking this place.
Some of the titles on some of those books are unsavoury. The more pleasant would include the works of the Marquis de Sade and some of his contemporaries. Unaussprechlichen Kulten and Der Amias Mysterious, various other tomes in various languages, a lot of European and continental tomes, which do the rounds in occult circles quite frequently. Lots of treatises on the plague. Open on a reading plinth is a book on Jürgen Ramestow, the infamous Munich reanimist, who was executed during the early days of the plague. This the story of his works, his trial, as it were, and so on and so forth.
You did it as a role.
I believe I'm starting to comprehend the reason for our summoning.
I present to you Lord Archibald Kennington. From the door.
Bow.
As
Appropriately.
Lord Kennington himself strides into the room, attempting to set a demeanour of very much being in charge and about business, but his eyes give away the look of a man who's not slept in many days, or not slept well. His skin's slightly off pallor. He looks somewhat unwell, or perhaps ill at ease. Other than that, he's the perfect picture of an aristocrat. He's tall, square-featured, lacking even the weak chin of the nobility, impeccably dressed in fashion so couture that even you didn't quite realise they were due yet. He appears to be a step ahead of the season. But his voice has a slight tinge of desperation when he speaks. Please, you may refer to me as your lordship. Well, there's no need for us to stand on particular frivolities. He pours himself a brandy. Have you drunk? Have you eaten? Taken dinner?
I'm fine.
Very well. I shall be brief then, as time is of the essence. Are you free to be of service to me this night? And are you familiar with Shadwell?
We are free this evening.
Very good.
Am I familiar with Shadwell?
Shadwell is a district of London, a particularly run-down, poor district. It's not too far from where you guys live. It's much of a muchness with it. A lot of slums. It's abuts the Thames, so there's a few boat yards and coal yards and the like there. This very evening, I have been informed that there has been an outbreak of the plague within Shadwell, and several of the sub-districts have already been quarantined by the Death Watch. This is as it should be. I'm sure, with all respect to Sergeant Hairbottle here, the Death Watch are men who know their business. However, there is a particular facility within the district of Shadwell, and what I am about to say, looks over at the door, must never leave this room. Sergeant Hairbottle just raises a butty in quiet salute of that.
Agreed.
My son is trapped within the district of Shadwell, which even now is being quarantined by the Death Watch. He was receiving treatment at a facility there, treatment most highly paid for. I cannot have my son fall to either plague or to the indiscriminate fire of our good men of the Death Watch. However, my influence goes only so far. I have been able, thanks to my many friends, she says with a tone that suggests he means bribes, to secure the services of Sergeant Hairbottle and of several good men within the Death Watch, to ensure that a particular district of Shadwell will be the last visited by their firearms. What I do not have the ability to do is call off quarantine, nor to have anybody escorted officially from this region. Do you begin to see now why such as yourselves are those to whom I turn? Excellent.
Few would think twice of us being there. Fewer less if we were to be indiscriminately gunned down.
Such should hopefully not come to it. As you can imagine, the Lady Kennington is beside herself with worry. That's why she's not here with us this evening. She is stricken with grief at the thought of our poor boy falling to either terrible, terrible end. The reward I offer will be of substantial means. My son's life is of utmost importance. But absolute discretion, again, I cannot stress that. My name would be ruined should this come out. My son is unwell. Unwell. And no more we will say on this matter.
If you wouldn't mind, Your Lordship. He is unwell.
Yes.
I have no desire or care to know of your son's issues.
Good.
Except...
Nothing that can be passed to another. He is not stricken with plague.
Oh, no, I'm immune to such. Would he be otherwise dangerous to us?
Of course not. He is but a boy.
Excellent. Fine.
An unfortunate child. He is my own cherub, my son. The facility is named Bigland Green. A small medical facility attached to the sanitarium therein.
Do I know anything of this place?
What appropriate skillage do you bring to the table, Mr. David?
Well, I'm a psychologist. I'm
That'll do.
one of the 4 running mesmerists.
Roll
if
me
they're
a,
using that.
yeah, roll me a psychology, and I'll give you the +1 for your mesmerist skills.
It's only 7. You do just add, don't you?
You had the 2 dice together and had your skill rating.
8. Sorry.
An 8. No, Bigland Green has not hit your radar of any particular note.
Also, I have
Folklore?
1 in medicine.
Folklore?
No, folklore, myth and superstition and
I was going
stuff.
to say, is it lived in theory? Is it the scene of something 100 years ago that was bad?
No, it's a medical facility.
Right.
Yeah. Applicable to that, I have Death Science, Thaumaturgy, Mesmerism, Psychology, and Medicine. But I rolled a pair of 3s.
Yeah, it escapes you if it's probably not a facility of any great repute or something of such a specialist nature. After all, you don't deal in paediatrics.
True. I do not deal in paediatric medicine. Perhaps you could tell me something of this place.
Perhaps so, he
Using
says.
my mesmerism.
As you say, he turns and specifically does not make eye contact with you. You can attempt to mesmerise him, but it will be difficult.
Sit back. With a appreciative, sort of respectful nod.
Now we've started.
He attempts and succeeds, I should say. He puts on an air of nonchalance. There was nothing intentional there. As far as you, little too late for you. You see through his ruse. But yeah, you don't notice anything amiss in what just took place between these two. So, gentlemen. So, gentlemen. You will be the angels who will save my son this night.
Yes.
Praise be. I shall immediately go forth and console the Lady Kennington. Her relief will be palpable. Crichton will see to anything you need. I have a boat ready, a good man there. He will take you by canal to Shadwell. From there you will be able to reach Bigland Green without little worry.
So in on the boat, out on the boat.
Yes.
Fair enough.
I'm worried not, good sergeant. I shall not raise a sword to a kingsman. We will be out before you and your men arrive.
Probably for the best. They'd only shoot you.
Exactly.
I'm coming with.
Ah.
Your lordship, Sergeant Hairbottle. My regards to your captain. Swoops out with Crichton waiting at the door.
No. I came with everything I needed.
Limpy.
Anything you need, Sergeant Hairbottle?
Nah, I've got everything. I'll put my cloak on. Crichton, give us a moment. As Crichton closes the door.
Did notice 2 rifles.
Both mine.
Think we might get along.
That's what I want to discuss. I'm here on orders. Whatever arrangement his lordship's got with my captain is between the 2 gentlemen. I'm a soldier. I've been given my orders. I'm going to see them through. If either of you gets bit, if either of you's a menace, I'll shoot you. Needle in the damage or not. If I should get bit, I'd expect the same. We have an understanding.
Yep.
So you know.
Grabs the last butty, scoffs it. Good.
So you know in advance. Shooting me won't be required. I'm dumb here. You wouldn't want to.
Shoot you twice.
Good plan.
Heads off to the cloakroom.
That's why he's got the button, and that's why I wear this.
Oh,
I'll not be one of them.
you're alright for one of them, you are. You're alright. Is he alright? Thinking you can't over here.
Lean in.
Fair enough.
Some of that layers into your face where your brass dented with a slight turn to his head. A fake blue glow from behind one of the eyes.
If he were not an officer of the Death Watch, he would probably wet himself in fear.
Touch my friend. Totally arose.
If you pull my arms off, I'll shoot your friend. Right. If you wish to ask Crichton for anything,
Nope. Nothing I particularly think we need.
giving you that derisive, I'm the staff, but I'm still better than you sort.
Perhaps
No, please, that's stuff you me.
a map of the area. Do you have one prepared?
He strides over to a writing desk, pulls out a folded map which he hands to you, Shadwell and sub-districts. Marked upon there is the facility of which his lordship spoke. A direct route from the docks is marked.
No. Perhaps a token of sorts that the child would recognise us. I do not wish to have to subdue him by force.
Looks like he's going to say something and doesn't. Heads out. Comes back a moment later, carrying a small stuffed bear. It's only about that yay big. It's got a little waistcoat on it, with a few little cogs and things. Hands it to you. The child will know his beloved Ruxpin.
Excellent.
It's a shabby thing. Looks like it's been thrown through a tumble wash a few too many times. Its ears are torn up. It looks like it's been chewed on in places. Restitched several times. You recognise that you've spent such time with seamstresses lately. This thing's been torn to shreds and restitched over and over, and now it's an almost Frankensteinian patchwork. But the waistcoat and such like has been exquisitely placed to cover up the worst of the damages.
It's an interesting turn of phrase, that Pete on Cherubs with cogs, indeed.
I actually like that teddy bear. You can be my teddy bear. Really, really fuck up vampires. You know, going to do that with your jacket, and they think it's going to be staked. It's not. It's a teddy bear, and they just do that, and then get punched in the face really hard.
Oh, I'll have to get you a teddy bear. Which reminds me, actually, Pete. Sorry, unrelated thing. Slightly related. It's gaming. I forgot to do something on Sunday.
You're not levelling up.
Bastard! I want to buy a War Razor, a Master Whip one.
You haven't been anywhere that would sell such recently, so just keep it in mind.
Just in case I forget, I really, Lane's character saved our lives by sacrificing his precious War Razor.
Yeah.
I want to get my Master Whip one with an inscription.
Yeah, no, there'll be room to do that in the next
The
session or
inscription
two.
has to say in Elven, do not place in walls.
Yeah, that'll be something you can acquire in the next couple of sessions quite easily.
Nice, we'll get him a bag of finest sand.
I owe you a bag of sand, yeah.
Is that all you gentlemen require? Then one last thing. As you're heading to the door, he brings from the vestibule a small satchel. She opens up, removes what appears to be some manner of leathered harness, with buckles and straps and the like. His young lordship is occasionally given to fits of a disturbing nature. The harness, crafted by his father's instruction, protects him as best. He will need to be fitted with this when you remove him from the facility. If you just pay attention for a moment, and
I am a doctor, please.
ah, very good. He demonstrates on a bag of flour how best to put the harnessing on. You'd refer to it more as a straight jacket than anything. As you simply cross the patient or his lordship's arms like so, strap them in place, but it has little muzzles to fit over the fingertips, and then a restraint, a bit to place in the mouth and then tie behind the head, so as to prevent his young lordship from biting through his own tongue or causing himself unnecessary damage should he have one of his fits. Given the situation, his lordship thinks it's best that you place the restraint upon his son as soon as you retrieve him from the facility.
He'll be under stress. Stress can bring on fits and such.
Exactly.
Understandable. From my knowledge of monsters and shit,
Yeah?
what the fuck would you restrain like that? What manner of monsters? Because we capture monsters. What would you restrain in that way?
Something at least as strong as a grown man. A large grown man, given the quality of the harnessing. Because it's very well tooled, but it's also thicker than it needs to be for a child. It would do no damage whatsoever. There are none of the hooks nor spikes that you would have on an animate harness or a...
Creation.
yeah, his son, the young lord. So something strong for its size, and it's intended to leave the feet free, the legs free, so they can walk, but they'll have absolutely no use of their mouth nor arms.
Are they stretchy?
No, there's no giving them whatsoever.
Be a strapping young lad, I'd say as I take the hand. Thank you.
Again, the Crichton's silence speaks volumes.
Yeah. Wipe the grease off this, it's pissing me off.
Go on, dude.
Killing the Irish and the killing the duffel bag.
As he walks you down to a carriage awaiting you, not your own carriage, that's been sent away already. A 4-horse-drawn carriage. He finally hands to you a small locket. He flicks open. The likeness of the young lordship. You would not like to retrieve the wrong child after all. And then he simply walks away. The locket bears the image of a boy who can be no older than 7 years of age. Little angelic curls, perfect features.
Too perfect.
Completely emotionless, just a staring, cold face. No hint of a smile nor any other emotion there.
Straps, duffel bag.
It's a little, it's a little sepia-toned photograph. Which, as it likes to note here, his dead eyes stare out at you.
Don't be trouble, Pete. I can feel it in my aching bones.
Yeah, get in the carriage.
Okay.
Once inside.
Sergeant Hairbottle sits down, looking into his eyes through his mask. None too impressed nor pleased. Muttering indiscriminate soldiery mutterings to himself. Something about bloody officers and bloody bribes and too bloody old for this shit. He has no interest whatsoever in the conversation you guys have. He makes that abundantly clear. If you even look at him, he just snaps open a Bible and looks down at it, muttering to himself.
Being as my knowledge of death science.
Is this you speaking aloud?
No.
That'd be pretty awesome.
The master driver cracks the whip and the carriage starts to trundle through the streets.
And possibly together with your sort of streetwisey knowledge of things that happen. Just chatting through and trying to figure out, has there been some form of accident with this family, possibly involving some of their servants?
Oh!
Or where a child may have been involved.
Yeah, very
but
interesting.
Miraculously survived.
Very interesting. Cal, you have your street law stuff, don't you?
I've only got neighbourhood, not street law.
That will do. Given the nature of gossip about the upper classes, I'll allow your folklore bonus
Cool.
of a +1.
So that.
And you may roll your death sciences, dude.
I got 10, 14,
Oh, boom.
17, 18 with your +1. You got +1.
Okay.
Yeah. 18 on death science.
Lord Kennington, most recently, at the most recent, say 10 years ago, took a substantial portion of his family's fortune and funded a new Thanatological research wing at Oxford University. Oxford University being moved within the City District of London itself. It was a bit controversial at the time that such an upstanding family should look into such a matter, and his public speech when he opened the wing, he took time to say that although Britain's strength remains as ever, its might at sea and its great navy, its uplifting character and ever-staunch defence of the heartland, in times of death, we must learn from death, and so the money I make from life, I give to death. Which some of the more poetic souls spent a long time bouncing around and trying to see meanings within. The professors of the new department were too happy to be given tenured jobs and grant money to care too much. Even if there were a lot of requests made for research into ailments that struck children and child death especially.
The child
Rumour has it.
is reanimated.
Rumour has it quite strongly that the Kennington family is cursed amongst the streets. People go missing at their shipyards a little too often to be simple accident. Yes, the press gangs may prey upon people who work around the water, but there's always been rumours of people vanishing on night shifts and late duties. But there were also rumours that the reason they opened up a workhouse was because the Lady Kennington cannot have children of her own, and she simply wished to give a home to poor children, as some of the more salubrious people put it, so she can choose one she does like for her own. You were employed a year ago to cleanse an infestation of vampires within one of the workhouses they'd funded. It was while, unfortunately, the needle was busy in the arms of a particularly wealthy woman. So his insight was lacking, so you simply did what you do and killed the things. But you saw nothing to suggest any problems with children.
Personal movies, I don't like that.
But there isn't an aristocratic nor noble family in all of London, in all of the Empire, that doesn't have some manner of dark story told about them by the poor.
And plus you don't get rich being nice.
Exactly.
I believe this child may not be entirely natural.
With that, the carriage creaks to a halt. Sergeant Harbottle snaps his Bible shut, looks at you two, shakes his head. Problem is, people ask too many questions, if you ask me, which is a question, so we'll stop asking them. You've not learnt nothing by now. There's us, and there's our betters, and there's our worsers. As long as we don't end up a worser, don't ask questions of your betters.
We don't ask questions. We get the job done.
I don't like
Good.
walking into blind alleys.
I like's a professional.
Nothing more will be said of this once we're done. But going in there with half the information,
I've
seem
heard.
to be shocked.
Nothing.
That's fine. by me.
Excellent. As it should be, Sergeant.
Right, yeah. Bloody eyes. Get out of the white carriage. That world-weary sergeant shrug that only a sergeant in Her Majesty's Armed Forces can possibly manage.
I believe he has confused of which side of the better or worse he is from us. Step off.
You're smooth.
Steps off, faces.
With just the damage,
Yes,
left in the carriage, it's now a definite.
Oh, album 3, damage in the carriage. that's your solo effort.
Trying to get out.
Do well.
Trying to get out the carriage.
You could swear that the horse's winner sort of sigh. Thank fuck.
Not many people who can walk up to a fully grown horse and go, "Nice horse."
If you could get that close to a horse without it vomiting, yeah.
I want a rubber fine.
The carriage driver just gives a nod of acknowledgement that you're out of his carriage and pulls
Thank you.
away into the night. As you're stood at the end of a road, nameless road, one of many, which just dead ends at the Thames, the mist lying quite thick, you can just about make each other out. The glows of the Tesla lantern in the carriage drifting off into the darkness, you realise just how unlit this street is. You can hear the ambient noise of London, that mingling of raucous laughter from some off-colour corner with the lightly pitched music of some of the concert halls, with the none too indistinct occasional shriek or scream in the darkness.
I still do the thing because
All with the patient lapping of the Thames undercutting it, and the clanking from the workhouses and factories that are still running late into the night. The lifeblood of Britain.
I still do the, even though with him and I trust his senses, I do every 10 steps, I actually stop for a heartbeat and do the, and I'm listening.
Cool. Well, you pick up before anybody else.
Because if I'm not with him, I have to be
Yeah.
twice as careful.
Being that alert, you pick out. Are you wearing a mask? You don't, do you? So there's already a fine, slimy ooze working its way into your collar and across your skin from...
Oh no, I have a mask.
Oh, you're wearing one.
It just doesn't cover my mouth.
That's fair enough. You've got that foul taste of the night air and the fog.
It is the wine of London.
That nice slime that coats your teeth and tongue after a few minutes.
Knitting.
In this particular district,
Sure,
in this particular part of the city, even you have to stop and wipe the slime from your goggles now and again. It's foul, but you pick out the noise of something cutting through the water as an indistinct glow appears. Within moments, it resolves into a small cutting, as they do. A small boat cutting through the waters, with a single boatman holding up a Tesla lantern, just giving off that faint greenish crackly glow. As he waves it, Sergeant Hairbottle lifts one out, lights it and gives it a wave. And his boat pulls up at a little jetty you hadn't noticed. The boatman hops off, ties up.
Very covert. Stroll forward.
3 for Shadwell, is it?
It is.
Wipes some grime off on his already grime-slimed coat, so it has no effect, and gives you a half-hearted little sailor salute. All aboard, then!
Hop.
Getting carefully.
Come on, I ain't got all day, matey.
Come on.
Getting carefully. Boats. Big guy though.
Huh.
This is described as being huge.
Now there's a bugger split his mum, and no mistake.
It's damage didn't have a mum. Slap.
The damage? What kind of daft name's that? Never heard of him.
No? Lead on the damage? Never. Oh well.
He's lucky then.
Yeah. Better not.
Pulls out a handful of little penny dreadfuls, fans through them. Now. Are you famous? As he rips up a little galvanic motor and your boat says pop, 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 pop across the waters.
I'm little. Probably more infamous, though.
Well, infamous ain't going to save you from the death watch, is it? Listen,
Nothing well.
I've got instruction. Put you off at a little dock. Once you're in the city, you're in the city. I'll be hanging about, but if the death watch start breathing down my neck, you're on your own. Understand?
Fair enough.
Makes sense.
But I'll wait for as long as I can.
No paycheck's worth getting shot for.
2 right. Pop, 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 pop. He just concentrates on navigating the dark waters, as every now and then there'll be a pile of salubrious debris just jutting from the waters. A barge might have a loom out with someone shipping things along.
Keeping my eye on the sergeant. Quietly.
Okay. He's just reached inside his coat, he's fondling at something.
Guessing crucifix.
Sees you watching, just gives you
No, as in just...
Alright.
I'm not making it in any way obvious.
Okay, yeah.
I'm trying to be subtle about it.
Peripheral.
Basically, yeah. Just out my peripheral using the enhanced super senses. I'm not entirely sure that we are meant to go back for our fine reward. If that makes any sense. I think he might... I don't trust him, basically.
You can make a wit roll if you wish. You have by now no doubt picked up on the none too subtle cues that something is very, very clearly eating at the sergeant. And a man of the Death Watch would have no business being this nervous about something like this.
It's only 11 unless I get to add any other bit to
11's a standard difficulty, dude. It would seem, given the Bible and a couple of the mutterings you can make out, he's trying to put something together with his own personal faith. What the source of that might be, you don't know, but you don't know the sergeant personally. It would seem there's something deeply upsetting him of a nature, but I'll bear in mind that you're keeping an eye on him for any little cues that might come out. But there's absolutely no sense of aggression or focus on you two. A man who was dealing with such as yourselves, who are known, and a man of the Death Watch, if his instruction was to put paid to you, you'd imagine would be weighing up weapons, keeping a close eye on you. He seems to actually be trying to avoid looking at you.
We're actually very comfortable with his situation. The repeated things of orders are orders and bloody officers and taking bribes. That's a man with morals, perhaps.
He is, but it's also worth noting that for a working man to make his way up to sergeant, losing that paycheck would be a substantial blow. A sergeant of the Death Watch is paid a handsome stipend, enough to support an entire family. So there may be any manner of things at work here. But that said, the boat engine cuts, and the unnamed pilot lets it drift to a start with a thud against a small jetty. With the engine cut out, noise is set to filter back in through the city. You hadn't realised just how much noise the galvanic engine was making until it was gone, as the silence falls like an anvil, but then is immediately replaced by the occasional crack and high-pitched noise, which slowly, as your ears adjust to the thick smog, because the London smogs can mask noise, you know how fog can get, and you realise that you've reached the quarantine district of Shadwell, simply as the cracks and shrieks start to resolve themselves into what's very definitely the noise of the Death Watch quarantining the district of London. The people who live here, and judging by the glows of light that just sort of illuminate this area of the fog, this is a lived-in region rather than a factory district. There will be quite a few people quarantined tonight, at the risk, rather than risk London falling to a full outbreak of the plague.
Because when we're pet way down the jetty, we're on solid ground, doing the whole thing. Bag down, open, shotgun out, load, cock it, put the extra one in.
Yeah.
That was inside. I've literally got everything with me. The only thing I get out of my bag is, most people have a rosary, and it's the crucifix is about yay big.
Yeah.
My crucifix is about that big.
Blinging.
Which is from the church where we're from.
It was the altar piece.
It
I
was
like
the other
it.
things that was ransacked. And since I've
Or even the desperate scum of London have a little faith.
Yeah. Even I've got theology at one. And I've literally just put the Feather Jack style of religion. So do a thing, I do a Rocky thing. Take a knee, say a prayer.
That would be an ecumenical matter.
Yeah.
As you're doing so, Sergeant Hairbottle puts one of his rifles down, makes sure the first one's intact, takes the second one. My orders is to guard the retreat. I'll make sure he doesn't go anywhere, and I'll be here. I ain't coming with. But you can rest assured, should any of my mates arrive, I'll have a quiet word. You'll be safe. If you find yourself near a squad and you're close enough for earshot, give me 2 shots into the air or a shriek. I'll make sure they're called off. May God have mercy on your souls. And his. Shudders. Or gives a look away up the Thames back the way you've come.
We'll have you back there soon enough, Sergeant.
Yeah.
I know you're not comfortable with this. Do some damage.
Flamethrower, shoulder.
Right. As you head into Shadwell District itself, if you guys are, as soon as the needle slips more than an arm's length ahead of you, the darkness and the fog rolls that combines so horribly heavy that you can barely make him out.
I'll not slap in front of him then.
Yeah, an occasional patch of grim red light shows where houses have been put to the torch by people, or accidents have happened, screams echoing out, and the very clear noise of gunshots in a very regimented fashion.
They're literally clearing house by house.
Yeah. As the sky sort of lit, so you've got that horrible thick smoggy fog that's lit by the fire. So it's this horrible, just like eldritch pall across the city.
I've got an idea that they're going into a street, going down house by house, literally.
As Cal narrates this, it pans out, and this happens as he narrates it.
Literally smashing windows through, and then throwing Molotovs in. Anything that comes running out gets shot.
Replace Molotovs with grenades, and you've got a close look, yeah?
And then as you work your way forward, you've got people who literally walk up.
A backup squad are putting the fires out.
To grab, pull the bodies out the way, and then another one behind them, putting the fires out.
Yeah. They're just moving through, because the slums can always rebuild, and you can always find more poor. It's the one thing London never runs out of. And we pan back to you fellows. As you make your way down the street, a little cobbled alleyway, there's a dull moan from the corner. As you see what appears to have once been a small pub. The window's smashed. A hand limply hanging out of the window, with just a faint trickle of blood pooling on the floor underneath it. Not a light on in this entire street. It's as if this entire area is just waiting with bated breath.
How far away are we from the...
Well, you noticed, as you said, you noticed this. You're from the sanitarium, maybe half a city block, so probably about 15 minutes walk on a normal day. Make it half an hour in this foul muck.
So we make this little noise going in.
As you say that, this hand drops off the windowsill as you realise it's not attached to anything. Its former owner then suddenly lumbers into view with a dull moan. His arm hanging useless as he stretches the other one to you with a moan. There's two other of his kind, freshly dead, eyes vacant, skin not yet had time to turn rotten, just gaping wounds ripped across them. Except for the one who appears to just have died. No death marks upon them, perhaps the origin of this particular outbreak, as they lunge forward, hungry for meat. And we'll roll some initiative.
What was that as prowess, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep, plus 2d10.
Plus prowess, isn't it? Yep.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Fucking hell.
What did you get, Cal?
24.
Damn.
Jesus fucking hell.
Dave?
He's on it. I am not there. 17.
Okay, Cal, what do you want to do?
Is it basically free action to talk?
Yeah.
Do we put them down, or do we move quickly?
Put them down, they'll chase us.
Okay. We get 2 actions, is it? Because of our...
Depending on your prowess, if
Which?
you've got 2 noted for your...
yeah.
What's your prowess?
5.
6.
Then you got 2, yeah.
Yeah.
Same as you, Dave.
I will do, same as the last time, because I've got... What the fuck is it? Fast aim.
Uh-huh.
I choose my first action to aim.
Yeah.
So it gives me +5 to my roll, doesn't it?
Mhm.
And then I'm going to shoot the thingy, the closest one.
Okay, just a straightforward shot, or are you making a call shot at any location?
What's call shot? Is that minuses off your total?
Yeah,
What is it? Shoot them in the head?
-3.
I shall try and shoot them in the
Okay,
head.
given the darkness and the fog, the visibility is quite poor, so I'm going to cause a -1 on your visibility here.
Okay.
Kel, just a sec. Just because we're all new to the rules.
Yeah.
The one I remember is that you have the big damagey thing, whatever it's called.
I have a thingy, headhunter, which means if I roll a 10 on my dice,
You can
Then
choose
see,
his
I can
location.
choose.
So, taking the -3, especially when you've got a -1, do you need to?
but if I ever get it, I think I'll get shot in the head. If I don't, but I roll a 10, so it shoots in the head. That's the...
I won't be taking the
Yeah.
-3 because I've got something similar, but...
So it goes off rifle. That's 8 minus 4.
+8.
Fast aim gives me thingy. Rifle 3.
Oh, you're aiming at
Fast
yeah.
aim is thingy.
I think has he got skill rating 8, cheating motherfucker.
18, so 14 in total.
A 14 is a hit, since they're not expecting to get shot, they're just hungry for meat. In the head, so resolve me some damage, dude.
It's
Damage modifier for there will be +3.
And then the damage modifier of your weapon.
my bullets do 9 damage.
Yeah, so 12 on your roll.
Holy shit balls that one.
So it's already a serious wound at least.
10, 19 in total.
19 in total is an incapacitating wound. You blast this thing's head, just tearing through a portion of its head. Hard to tell how serious the damage is as yet,
Yeah.
but it's quite clearly very serious. The needle may take his actions.
Should I finish that one or shoot a different one?
Take that one down, then I can shoot the next one.
Yeah.
Do it in order.
Yeah. Stepping forth with a flourish of my blade, I shall shoot it in the face. Or I shall just shoot it. Yeah, in the classic sort of Errol Flynn. Ha ha! Like Errol Flynn crossed with an angry cowboy. Ooh. There's 12. Where's my pistol gone? There it is. 15 damage. No, 15 to hit, sorry.
If 15 is a hit, is the same one, did you say, or a different one?
Same one. I rolled 2 die to determine where, don't I?
Yeah.
I said I will. Given the minus, I'm not. It's in the 6.
The 6 is the leg. So it pays no attention whatsoever to such a strike.
Ooh.
But he's already dead. And it instead lunges straight for you.
Worth it. I'm going to aim next time.
Arms outstretched. That gives it a 7 as it attempts to claw its well, sorry, a 9 as it attempts to wrap its arms around you, but you're able to evade that. Its fellows stepping in with a 12.
What does footwork give me on my unarmed combat thing?
We shall check.
It's a bonus dodging melee, I think. So I have footwork and breakout, which means if I get grappled, I get bonuses to break out.
Footwork.
I've got footwork, breakout, and free dodge. I'll be using that free dodge, by the way. I take 1 action, Cal takes 1 action, or rather...
No, you take your full turn.
Alright, in which case I had another shot, didn't I? Because I was shot.
I'll take that then, sorry.
Yep.
So shoot, because I would have, the one that missed me anyway, so I would have just shot it twice. Oh, boom! Guess who just rolled the 10?
Was it your...
Yeah,
Oh.
I get to pick. So that would be 18, 21 in total, and I'll shoot it in the face. Because obviously the leg wound did nothing. I learned from my mistakes.
Didn't even slow it down. It's a rookie error, Dave.
In fact, it probably doesn't have much of a face left. I'll shoot it in the throat.
Mean.
Yeah.
But I like it. Yeah, you can declare at the start of your turn that you're taking evasive action. Which then gives you double your coordination on the difficulty of hitting you.
Ah.
If you know someone's attacking you, the difficulty is 11 plus your coordination.
Sweet. Ah. Cool. Need 14 to hit me. Semi.
So you were not struck at all. With your dodges, you give up an action.
Except I don't.
You're down here.
I got 3 1.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good on the unarmed. I'm basically pretty good at every kind of combat.
You make a coordination roll.
Yeah.
And if that's an opposed roll against their attack.
Coolio.
Okay, sweet.
So what sort of damage bonus do I get for de-throating this creature?
Oh, a strike to the throat gives you a damage modifier of +3.
So +8 in total to the roll. Ooh. 14, 22.
22, you slash across its throat. Oh, sorry, yeah, shoot, don't you? Blast it in the throat. It blows out enough of the thing's neck that the weight of its head simply pulls it backwards off. There's a horrible elasticity of the skin for a moment, which then gives way with a wet thwack. And the thing just topples, sliding against the wall, trailing its slowly spurting dead blood against the wall. As its 2 fellows fall upon you in an attempt to grapple hold of you, but you're able to evade them. And we return to the damage, as these 2 animates are attempting to grab hold of the needle.
Yeah, again, I'm going to take aim. If it's really slow and steady, and shoot one on the side of the head.
Okay.
Same again. My roll minus blah blah blah. So. Ooh, not this time, dude.
If you fumble, let me know.
No, 4.
Which would be a double 1, so we roll double 10.
You got an 8 on the roll.
Okay. There's a blast, and near deafening gunshots as a chunk of wall explodes, showering you in brick dust.
This is fog.
Back down to our fighting senses.
As, yeah, your ears ring. Soon replaced by the moaning of a zombie as fetid, just spittle trickles down your face as everything lunges in close out the fog. What are you doing?
I shall give up one of my actions, as you previously said, to be evasive.
Okie dokie.
I don't want to get eaten.
Well, no. Being evasive gives up all of your actions. That's what you're doing for the turn.
Does it? Or what, the footwork thing? What did that do?
Footwork thing. What's it come under?
Unarmed.
Yeah.
It's an unarmed combat stunt. You canning stunt. Fuck off, Cal.
Fuck you, slag.
We managed to stay in character for so long and then it just crumbled.
Fucking slag.
Yeah, fucking man and a half.
Here we go. Skills.
They pay the bills.
We do.
Combat skills.
We have mad skills.
We do.
Footwork.
In fact,
You get a +3 on dodge rolls.
Alright.
nice.
Alright, and I get a free dodge, so yeah, that's sweet, doesn't matter. Right, I shall, fuck it, I shall use both of my attacks to attack.
Okay.
And I shall knife this motherfucker up good. By which I mean sword.
Do the Zoro thing in his face.
Now you're
Yeah.
doing melee combat on his ass, are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, I'm going to stick my sword through both of his eyes,
Ooh.
one at a time.
Ooh.
Jokerizing.
Spinning. Yeah, one's on a 6. Not bad. Which makes that 13 plus... Where's my melee gone? Ooh, fuck. 14, 15, 16, 17, minus the 3 for him in the shot. Is
It's a solid hit.
sweet. The second one, because I might as well do both and see what happens. One away from a crit. A 10 and a 9. Yeah. That's going to be a hit in the face. So, 2 hits to the head with my sword. What sort of bonus do you get for head location? Was it
+3, dude.
+3? So +6 in total from the Sword of Swords. That'd be 12, 15, 16, 17 from the first.
Oh. It doesn't acknowledge the strike in any way.
And 20 from the second. Both to the head.
It simply pushes its way down your blade before you have time to retract it. Stupid hunger overwhelming any kind of mortal sense. It forces itself downwards, just allowing you to twist the slightest amount of pressure, piercing its brain, which just oozes from its ears like some kind of foul slug.
Flick its head off.
Leaving it just pooling on the floor horribly.
Cometh at me, bro.
He takes your invitation with a dull moan. His arms outstretched, he just attempts to wrap his arms around you in some kind of devilish headlock.
He's 14.
He does not get 14. It's like dancing with a drunkard for you. It's less effort than any living man would do.
This goes to some damage. Finish it.
I'm annoyed with myself because I missed that shot. So I'm just going to shoot it twice and see what happens.
Oh, damn it, I know why it's just turned itself off.
So now this is
Did the trailer take its energy?
So now it's +3. Dave, so close. 2 9s.
Hello, I've got a 10 and a 9. I was like,
18,
Knock it off.
18 plus 3. So 21 on the first one.
Damn, son!
And I got a 10 on
Nice.
1 10 on my second attack. So I'm going to shoot him in the head with my second one.
Yeah?
So the first one, do I need to roll a hit location?
Yes,
So it's
please.
just 2d10, is it? 15.
I think it's also.
I believe it is. A 15 is... No, it's the right leg. So, a blast of flesh just spattering blood along the cobbles, but it pays no mind to it whatsoever.
Should we tell you his
The
name?
headshot,
So
however...
he staggers, and as he's going down, shoot him in the side of the head.
Oh, I like it.
So the damage is this.
This book really needs an index.
Or post-it notes. But it depends whether you want to mucky up your pages with the
28.
sticky.
Oh, dude.
Damage.
His head is
In
blasted
the head, and then
clean off its
damage down.
shoulders.
So it's 12.
Yeah.
I rolled 18.
Yeah,
Sorry,
blasted
16. Yeah.
clean off its shoulders. Just a stump. Part of the shoulders blown away by your shotgun as well.
Might be picking off.
As the thing just drops
What
to
if
its
I'm
knees and then falls backwards until it's just like some kind of proselytising madman in the street just blood from the three of them oozing together. As moans and screams echo out. As it sounds like there's quite a horde breaking out in the city. So the sudden gunfire is replaced by a massive statical burst. As it sounds like someone's unloading some kind of rapid firing gun. The screams fall quiet for a moment.
Take it's a machine gun, because my artillery knowledge.
Or is that a galvanic weapon?
It sounds like some kind of Vickers machine gun or something like that.
Wish I had a Vickers machine gun.
Stick my arm in through the window of this bar. Grab a bottle of gin off the side. Put it in my pack for later.
Nice.
I hear that noise. Kind of a. Don't mind, spend a few seconds reloading. Put 3 more shells in.
Okay.
That leaves me on 16.
Tell you what, you're massive. We're not spending time reloading. You're reloading round my shoulders, and I'm walking us in the right direction.
Oh, I like it.
So I've got 16 shots left on.
I just want to find out very quickly. Here we go. What critical failure and success does. Right, roll rubber 1's always a crit fail. Roll double 10's always critical success.
I'm thinking of doing a master blast around this. I'll just sit on your shoulders. Direct us.
Right.
Go full face then.
You'll like this, you two, because I know you think.
I know, you think
That
you
never
should.
ever ends well. You'll like this.
First off, I'm going to get a drink. Should we have pop or brews?
I'm okay brew-wise, to be honest now.
I don't know.
Break out the 7-Up.
Alright, cool. Critical fails and critical successes are awesome, or they go horribly wrong. There are no mechanics for it.
Nice!
It is simply excessive.
That's pretty cool.
Right, I'm going to run out to my car because my battery's dying. My spare one's in there because I forgot it 'cause I didn't yet. I'll be back in 1 minute.
I should time you.
No, I said it off so. And then I dropped it.
And I think that's enough of an experiment on that.